Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you
I
see
can
me?
I can see you now.
I
Yep.
I I
Yeah,
see.
I've apparated.
All
All
right.
right.
Well,
Water.
looks like we've got everybody. Sam's not going to join us this week, but he did send me
Oh,
his pick.
cool.
So,
Okay.
um, I've got that, and um, we are on part 4 of our deck building series around the seven deadly sins. Um, this week we are talking envy. Um, so, Josh, when you think of envy in a game of Magic, I have a feeling we're gonna think mostly the same thing on this one. But what comes to mind when you're thinking envy?
When it comes to Magic and Envy, it's wanting something on your opponent's board state. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Like, you had a standard issue first turn where you threw down your island and passed, but then the person next to you got the uh, island into their ring into a signet, and now you're just envious of that board state because they're going to be able to drop their commander next turn. You're just going to be punching uphill both ways with no shoes. So yeah, that comes to mind when I think envy and magic.
All right, Keith, what do you think of when you think of envy and magic?
Pretty similar to that, but could be stealing from their hand, graveyard, could even snipe a spell before it resolves on the board. But yeah, just taking control of something that's not yours, essentially. That
Yeah,
was
I'm
my idea coming into this.
yeah, I'm the same way. Just kind of seeing what other people have and playing what other people have, and just having a deck of ooh shiny. That's mine now.
I
Is
do have
is my idea. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
so I there is a also an alternative angle you could take it because it's hard to distinguish uh envy from jealousy, but the distinction is envy is related to one person. There is like the envious and the envied. It's like a two-way street. And with that, I could also see like an arch enemy as a theme for an MB commander as well. I think for the sake of this video, we can kind of blur the lines between jealousy and envy just so we can uh flush out a deck and not
I'll allow
just
it.
yeah, not so anyone busting out Webster's dictionary. Yes, there a lot of this will be based on jealousy and not straight up envy, but we're not going to be pedantic around here. Technically, right is the best kind of right, but not for this episode.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and kind of get into our selections for this week. We did have one commenter on our YouTube video. Um, William Weldon said, I've got a suggestion for Envy. Kamari Valiant Guardian. Since he's green blue, you can lean into the green with Envy angle. Additionally, his ability allows him to become a copy of an opponent's creature with a plus one, and vigilance. I can't think of anything describing envy better than not only becoming someone else, but becoming a better version of that person. I
Oh,
think
that was
Ouch.
yeah, beautifully
that's a
put.
that's a pretty good one. So,
Yeah.
Josh, who's your choice?
Okay. My pick is It is Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, and she is for blue and green. She is a fairy rogue with flying, and whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, uh, you may copy that spell, and that copy targets Ivy. So the energy this gives me is that one kid, if he goes to a birthday party, you also need to get him a present, otherwise he's going to be super jealous. So that was the energy that I was getting from Ivy. So that's the sole reason I picked it. But I feel also in those colors we can have access to those copy spells and stuff like that. Like if you get one, I get one too, sort of energy.
Perfect.
Nice, I
Keith,
like that.
Keith, who do you have, buddy?
Yep. You know I had to do it to him. It's a pirate. It is Edward Kenway, two colorless, blue, black, red. And at the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each tapped assassin, pirate, and or vehicle you control. And whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library, then exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. So it has some built-in ramp, which is pretty nice to cast those spells you want to steal. And yeah, you don't even necessarily need to have them on board because my plan is to steal stuff out of the hand, intercept it before it lands on the battlefield, or just yeah, steal it from the graveyard. All
Nice.
fronts.
Um, so Sam's pick is Volrath the Shape Stealer. So for two, a black, green, and blue, it's a legendary creature shapeshifter. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, put a -1/-1 counter on up to one target creature, and then you pay one until your next turn. Volrath, the Shapestealer, becomes a copy of target creature with a counter on it, except it's a 7/5 and it has this ability. He said the idea is Volrath likes being other people, maybe because he is envious of everyone, envious of the other looks. So I'll go ahead and add Volrath in there. And then my pick for this one is Lazov Demir Mastermind. So two blue, two black. He's a shapeshifter. Has hexproof. Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may have Lazov Master Demir Mastermind become a copy of that card, except its name is Lazov Demir Mastermind. It's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has hexproof and this ability. So he's, in my opinion, the ultimate shapeshifter that will um, help you take over a game and have some fun with being
Yeah, that
envious
could be
of
fun.
your um, opponent's cards. So, do we want to head on to the wheel?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if Sam is going to be the lucky duck again for a
Well, the
third
odds are against him,
episode
but
in a row.
we'll see.
All right, here we go. And we're spinning, and we're spinning, and we're spinning.
Ooh,
Oh, uh-oh, Josh.
nice.
Woo!
Uh-oh,
I've
Josh.
dethroned Sam. You
Oh,
can be
man.
you can be envious of me.
Nice.
Good card.
Congratulations,
I've been wanting to
Josh.
build some version of Ivy for a long time now.
Well, here's your chance, and we can share it
Yeah,
with the public.
let's go.
All right, I'll get us set up here on Moxfield. So, um, Josh, when you picked Ivy, what were you thinking build wise?
So I was thinking generally, if building it like if you get one, then I get one too. So I was thinking, uh, like the copy instants and sorceries, and then also, uh, maybe even just having her buff herself, or like you buff the other creatures that then also she also gets the buff in like fun ways. So just ultimately just she, like I said, it's like she's gonna show up to the party, and you need to get a gift for her too, otherwise she's gonna be a problem. So that's just the whole general under theme that I was thinking for Envy.
Makes sense. What's a name for this deck that you have
Oh,
using Envy in there?
uh,
Ivy, Gleeful, Spell Thief.
uh, let's see.
Envy, Gleeful Spell Thief.
Uh,
So simple it might work.
uh,
He's on the hot seat.
uh, Ivy, your Envy or your Out V
Ivy, your Envy.
or your Out V.
Okay.
It might be the dumbest name we've come up with, but I stand by it.
I like it.
All right. So let's go ahead and we will share this. Boom. And can everybody see?
Yes, I'm already looking at cards to add.
Okay. All right. Josh, did you have any off the top of your dome to start this
Well,
off?
let's just go ahead and start with some cop. Uh, let's start with some shinies. Let's get some rocks going.
Okay.
There's or like some at least some mana modifiers. The I believe it's the water crystal, the one that just came out with Final Fantasy. Uh, I think that would be good. And then
Okay. Got that in there.
so your blue spells cost less, and yeah, I don't guess the I guess we're not really milling, but the discount maybe the blue opal and or whatever. What am I thinking of? The cost
Oh,
reduction. Oh, sapphire medallion.
two piece.
Oh boy.
And then
There we go.
I found a cool thing real quick. It's called Wild Defiance. It's an enchantment. And it has whenever a creature you control becomes the target of an instant or sorcery spell, that creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking for some draw spells, and Josh can look for our shiny cool rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, we shouldn't have a hard time drawing cards in green and blue.
yeah, no, that's yeah. Uh,
Do we want a rampant growth?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably put most of those in there. It'd be cool if we could find one that like targets a creature first and then does something with a
Oh,
land, because
uh,
then we could copy it.
um, just kind of one that I want to include in here. Just I remember because it was particularly gross in playing an arena. Is the venerated rot priest is uh when you're targeting them, then you can also target uh Ivy, and you will be racking up poison counters like crazy.
Oh, very
And so
nice.
What about
in
go
you can
ahead,
be
buddy.
toxic with envy. I don't know. Envy can become very toxic. That relationship, the envied versus the envious.
Um,
So maybe we could have a toxic sub theme, huh?
Hmm.
yeah. We could do clone and clever
Toxic.
impersonator too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then uh there's the 3-drop one from Let's
Spark
see.
Double's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one that gives out like two poisons at a time, and it's like a squirrel.
Oh,
It's a
do you have
squirrel.
crackling counterpart
Oh,
yet?
nope. Oh, there's a croaking counterpart too. I want to
Uh,
see what that one does. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, any of them that would target
Ah,
and
uh,
do
croaking
something with the legend
counterpart.
ability.
Croaking counterpart. Create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's a 1/1 green frog. That's kind of funny. I'll remove it. No one else likes it. What
oh,
about fairy artisans? So it's three and a blue, flying. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Then exile all other tokens created with fairy artisans.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yep.
Since we've already got fairies in here, we might as well add some more. Phantasmal Image is a good one. Boop. Okay. Um,
Oh, how about some Magecraft synergy?
ooh, do we want to put uh,
Archmage Emeritus.
ooh,
Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card.
okay.
about Sage of Hours?
Okay. Sage of Hours. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets Sage of Hours, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Remove all +1/+1 counters from Sage of Hours. For each 5 counters removed this way, take an extra turn. Oh,
Oh, how about Artisan of Forms?
okay. I just like reading these because some folks, if they're listening on Spotify and don't know what we're talking about, they might not know. So for one and a blue, Artisan of Forms is a human wizard with heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Artisan of Forms, you may have Artisan of Forms become a copy of target creature and gain this ability. Nice. Um, Sphinx's tutelage could be cool because
Yeah,
we could do one where they're, you know, not only do we copy their creatures, but then we get them to discard cards and then find a way to get to mess with their graveyard too. So Sphinx's tutelage is for two and a blue. Whenever you draw a card, target opponent puts the top two cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. If they're both non-land cards that share a color, repeat this process.
nice. Um,
Did you find any more toxic that you thought would work? Because you always have Finn the Fangbearer.
yeah, ooh, and there's the Final Fantasy art of it now too. Then there's a Thrumming Bird who is pretty cool. And then we already have some other counters and stuff that we're messing around with. So
Okay. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go with boom. Nice. Okay.
then there's Blight Blighted Agent.
Okay. Yeah, Blighted Agent's a good one. Little unblockable. Infect.
Yeah, then
Do we want
uh
Mirror Maid?
That's a good one.
It's a 3 cost enchantment. You may have Mirror Maid enter as a copy of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield.
I'm here for it. Ooh, this one's a good one too.
Hmm.
Tainted Observer.
Okay. What does Tainted Observer do?
A Tainted Observer, for one in Simic, it has flying, toxic one, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay two. If you do, proliferate.
Awesome.
Uh, then just to go big, how about we throw Tyrannax Rex in there?
Okay.
T Tyrr.
Okay. It's in.
Heck yeah. Um,
That way it matches the thrumming bird. Mm,
then okay, let's.
Oh, how about Orvar, the all form? That might add some shenanigans in there. Um, it's a changeling, but when you cast an instant or sorcery, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's copy of one of those permanents.
nice. It's definitely a good one.
Maybe.
Do we want to ponder?
Uh,
And this
can.
ponder and stolen identity would be both be pretty good.
Yeah.
Stolen
Uh,
identity creates a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature. A cipher.
there's how about curiosity for
Ooh,
Okay.
draw?
that would really work. How about an Ophidian Eye to back that one up? Couple redundant draws.
Yeah. And then how about a
Okay, slow down,
curious?
slow down, slow down, slow down. I don't know how to spell Ophidian. I'm not even gonna.
Ophid. It should come up.
Okay. What were you thinking, Josh?
uh curious observe cure oh my God, I cannot talk. Curious obsession.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sorry, I hit you guys with the remix there.
Okay.
Do we have any more instance that we'd like? Like a
I
brainstorm
have
or didn't say please?
I have a really nice about Sublime Epiphany. It targets a whole bunch of things. Yeah, delete the H. EP. Yep, there it was.
There we go.
I don't
Okay.
remember exactly what it does, but it does a lot. Counters.
Choose one or
Okay,
more.
make a
Counter target
token.
spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control.
I
Target
want.
player draws a card.
I wonder if you could choose the modal return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you could like copy the whole card twice, the other modes.
Hmm.
That
I don't know.
how about you go down, can you do Keith, could you go rules lawyer on that real quick and I'll start throwing out some more picks.
I have a really nice enchantment though, real quick.
Sure.
It's Vesuvan, Vsuvan, Duplimancy. We've mentioned this in a Vesuvan, Duplimancy. This should make a copy of
Yep.
the commander, and it's not legendary. Okay, what card was that?
So you were seeing if you could, if you copied the modal aspect
Oh,
with,
Sublime Epiphany.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, then I'm gonna rattle off some just like utility buffs. So it's like buffing with a little bit extra.
Okay.
So let's do Tyvar's Stand. So Tyvar's Stand is an instant. It's X and a green. Target creature you control gets plus X and gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. Simic Charm. Uh, Target creature gets +3/+3, or it gains hexproof until end of turn, or you return target creature to its owner's hand. So some
How
value
do you spell
there.
Simic?
Oh, Simic.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh man. Dang it.
You okay?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Uh, Overprotect. Target creature you control gets +3/+3, gains trample, hexproof, and indestructible until end of turn.
Okay.
And then oldie but a goodie, Snakeskin Veil. Let's get some +1/+1 counters out there.
Okay. There we go. Do we want anything like Pongify or any of those kinds of Imprison on the Moon, that kind of stuff?
I think
To where
maybe
if we can't take and copy, we'll be envious and be like, well, if I can't play with it, then you can't play with it at all.
I was thinking we could also do bounce spells because in response to a board wipe, we could like recur our value pieces to our hands. I mean, Ivy's pretty low to the ground. And then we can also flip that and use them aggressively too and like postpone threats that way. What do you think about that?
Sure.
So, one of my favorites is from Aether Drift, and I run it in every blue deck, and I will forever, is a bounce off. And that does, as stated, you get to return target creature or a vehicle to its owner's hand. Then we can do the same thing like with like Boomerang, which is maybe you can find a stanky old art for that card. I know it. Yeah, we can go way older there. Let's get some. Yeah,
I like
there we
this one a
go.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the artist on that one where it's like the
That is
demon?
Brian Snoddy? That's hard to see. I can't really tell.
Yeah. Anyway, it's cool. It looks like a demon made of ketchup being ripped in half. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think uh there's the ooh three steps ahead. That's a fun one. You can counter a spell, or it's a uh, multiple modal card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. You can spree it. It's a blue, and then you spree. You can spree into a counter spell, spree into targeting a token, or creating a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, or you can spree into drawing two cards, then discarding a card.
Nice. Keith, are you back from
Um,
rules jail?
well, I didn't see anything about copying all the modes, but there's a cool thing you could do. You could simultaneously bounce it and copy it, Ivy, or whatever creature if you want. Yeah, nothing about copying the other modes. Would have to probably message a judge or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Since
Um, I have a quick little cantrip. It's aggressive urge. One green and colorless. Target creature gets +1/+1 and its draw a card, so it's a double card draw.
Okay. We have a good number of instants. We don't have very many sorceries
Uh,
so far.
I don't think we necessarily need a. I think we want to be able to like have combat trips and interaction out the wazoo. Think sorceries might be kind of slow for this, other than
I'm
like
just
ramp.
saying for like getting land and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It might not be a bad idea to have more than just two.
Ooh, blur. BLUR. It's another cantrip that draws a card and it will save something if you need it to.
All right.
Okay, we can get to I have two quick instant ideas pulled up just because we already have some we have Finn the Fang Bearer and then also just combat tricks to combat trick. How about Gift of the Viper, which gives +1/+1 and de gives a death touch counter to a creature, and you also untap it, so that's nice. Then another one is not quite as good, but it has its spot for one and a green. It's a Horrid Vigor. It's from uh, Doom. Oh my God, what's the name of the horror set?
Duskmorn?
Duskmorn. Oh my God. Yeah. Then target creature gets Death Touch and indestructible until end of turn. So
Okay,
just mhm.
I've got another cantrip, charge through. Target creature gains trample and draw a card.
Got it.
And there's another one. It's Cartouche of Knowledge. It's an enchant creature you control. It's an aura. When it enters, draw a card, and enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying.
So
There we
did you
go.
want to? We want a little bit more ramp there, Nathan.
I think that'd probably be a good idea. That way
Okay.
we
Yeah.
don't get stuck.
Okay. How about
Growth spiral.
So,
uh 3 visits? Cultivate?
what about peregrination?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Planar Genesis.
Kadama's
And
Breach.
yeah, explore would be another dupe for growth spiral.
Okay.
I've got so many tabs open right now. Good Lord.
That's a lot of.
What
I
about
think that
smell fear? That's not really. It lets us proliferate, and then target creature you control fights up to one target creature you don't control.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Uh,
Because if we could find some more like proliferate, since we're trying to do, toxic and stuff like that too, that would probably be a good idea. Fun little proliferate, little fun guys.
uh,
Do, do, do.
then do we want
Well,
to get some uh let's get some recursion and maybe get some creatures because I feel like we don't have a ton of creatures yet. So Den is it Den
I
Mother or something like that?
I'm on my Finn the Fangbearer deck, so I'll see if I can find like Llanowar Elves wouldn't be bad, and then um some Death Touchers would be.
Oh my God, I can picture her in my head. She morphs and then whenever she morphs, you get to return a creature from the graveyard. I'm gonna There it is, Den Protector.
Okay. Good
Dr
one is Pollen Bright Druid. So for two, when Pollen Bright Druid enters the battlefield, choose one, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or you can proliferate. That's a 1/1.
What's that one elf that when it comes in, it brings something back from the graveyard?
Reclamation Sage. No, no,
Yeah.
that's the
No, that's one of them. right?
Let's see.
Oh, that's the one destroys artifact or enchantment. Um,
Yes. Do you want to keep it or get rid of it?
Oh, it might not hurt. I mean,
yeah,
Okay.
we don't really have any removal. You mentioned fight earlier, but
then how about Masked Vandal for more enchantment removal?
Okay. We are at 56 with 3 lands so far and
okay.
2 artifacts.
I'll go to EDH Rec, look at some good lands for Ivy. Doop, doop, doop. Um, I would say Rogue's Passage, but I don't think Ivy works like that.
Let's see.
How about Alchemist Refuge? It gives spells flash.
Okay.
Mystic Sanctuary would help with recursion. You can put an instant or sorcery from your graveyard on top of your library.
Okay.
Um, Mosswort Bridge isn't bad. You can potentially get a free spell out of it.
It's Moss what bridge?
Mosswort, Wort.
Okay. Got it.
Are there any enchantments that make something like auras that will make something into a dork? If that, we can do double dorks with Ivy. I think like all auras basically double with Ivy.
Yeah, I think Aura is a good direction. Though I do have a creature that might be kind of fun. Bloodroot Apothecary. It's a squirrel druid,
Okay.
and then it has Toxic 2. And then whenever it enters, you and target opponent each create a treasure token. Then whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-creature token, that player gets 2 poison counters.
Oh,
That's a very good one.
yeah, I was looking for that earlier. Um, I have an enchantment aura, enchant creature. When there's a battlefield, draw a card, and enchant creature has add 1 mana of any color. It's Karametra's Favor.
How do you spell Karametra?
Karametra.
Okay.
So if we're Voltroning up a bit, let's get her chonky. Let's
I
do
found a good one after your next card.
okay, we're
Go.
gonna need some basic forest for this to work, but or at least lands that are also forest. But how about something like a Blanche wood armor?
Good. Super good. And since we're gonna be buffing her up,
Is there a
would be
blue
the
version of that, Josh?
Let me see.
Because that could be cool if we had one for each since we're just 2 colors.
there's one called, it's not quite as good, but it gives it vigilance and flying. It's called Favor of the Overbeing, and it also gets +2/+2.
Nice.
But I was gonna mention Traveler's Cloak, also an aura, and when it enters, choose a land type and draw a card. Enchanted creature has land walk of the chosen type.
That's nice.
Ooh, I found a spicy one.
Ooh.
It's expensive, but it'll be funny to pull off.
Cyclonic
It
Rift.
Oh,
it's Worm, like WURM,
Uh-huh.
Weaver Coil.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then so it's 6 for this enchantment, but enchanted creature gets +6/+6, and you can pay 3 and sacrifice it and put a 6/6 worm creature token into play. So if we get copies of this, we can sacrifice the copies of and then be making 6/6 worms
That's
because we can. value.
Ooh,
Worms.
I found another aura, but it gives infect. Have we mentioned this? It's corrupted conscience. Is that in here already?
I don't believe so.
No. Enchanted creature. First of all, you control enchanted creature, so you could steal something potentially and give it infect.
Nice. We are at 66 with 6 lands.
Okay, maybe that's not a theft spell, but I read it
So
that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it just says enchant creature, so I'd
Oh,
imagine you can do it anywhere.
Auramancer's Guise, Auramancer. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it, and it has vigilance.
Nice.
And there are multiple Umbras which have totem armor, which, like, if any of those auras would be destroyed, that card gets destroyed instead, or token in this case, maybe.
Hmm.
okay.
So
I have
there's
Octopus?
Spider or Boar Umbra or Eel Umbra, any of those,
What about octopus?
maybe.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Josh.
yeah, there's.
yep. So again, because we can turn Ivy into a one-shot kill. You ready for this?
Hmm.
One shot kill.
Colossification.
Ooh, big chonker.
And we already have instants that can untap her, so yeah.
Kitty. Big kitty. Okay. We are at 68 cards with 6 lands.
Okay, so we do need to I do think we should probably do 66 cards, 33 lands, and our commander. I feel like that's
All
general rule of
right.
thumb. So we will need to cut 2 cards. Uh, honestly, this is pretty low to the ground. Uh, we have a handful of utility lands, but I think honestly we could get away with basics for the most part.
Yeah.
Also, we want that Branchwood Nexus to hit. So
I can name just a couple of the dual-ish lands. Dreamroot. Oh,
Hold on.
that's fine.
Let me just
Yeah,
do
I'd
this
just
real quick.
easily add like 10 of each real quick. Bada boom. You
Okay.
can click on like the black box on the card and like sort of not to the right, like the actual number, like double click it, and then you can just sort of type in whatever number you want.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um, Dreamroot Cascade,
Okay.
Rejuvenating Springs, um, Hinterland Harbor.
Hold on.
Kitty, no.
Okay.
So there's a snarl, Vine Glimmer Snarl.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a few. I think we're fine with mostly basics. We got a few in there. All right, anything we might have missed?
well,
Want some more generic like steel spells or some more buffs or more removal?
okay, so yep, Soul Ring and Simic saying net. Say that 4 times fast.
That 4 times fast.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
Mm.
Everyone slow clap like an 80s movie.
Okay,
Okay.
we are at 96. We've got 4 more slots. We have 32 lands. So
Oh, add a couple more. You said 34, maybe, yeah, 34, 35. All right, what kind of card are we looking to slot in here?
we have 1 slot left.
Um, I
Ooh,
found a
how
sort
about
of, oh, go
have
ahead.
do we want an alternative win con? Uh, how about biovisionary,
Oh, okay.
since we have a lot of copy spells.
Cool.
Boom.
I'm down with
And
that.
then biovisionary, if you control four copies of biovisionary, you win the game.
Nice. Well, that's 100 cards. How are we feeling?
I feel pretty good about it.
Let's see. Yeah, got some good protection in there. Oh, overprotect? Yeah, you must have said that when I was looking
Yeah,
up the rules. That's a good one.
yeah. So I feel pretty good about this. This is kind of close to what I envisioned whenever we were talking about building Ivy. So I'm you there were some like really quality inputs from everyone to kind of get this to where it is. It's going to be uh mostly getting value off of targeting spells. There's also some like sub themes that could potentially land big, like you could potentially kill someone with infect, and then there's also the biovisionary alternate win con. Uh,
What kind of
you also
themes did you say we've got going on here, buddy?
There's some plus one in there, right?
a
Hmm.
little bit, yeah, a little plus one, a little. You said you have clones, perfect. You do have some infect or
Okay, let's see
toxic
if
or
we can
whatever it
find
is.
that.
Mm, is there an
Poison.
auras? Because there's an
Yeah,
enchantments
I
option.
I got that. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Simic when you get to it, I guess. Infect is right there.
there we go.
Bada boom. It's kind of
Poison
modular, although it doesn't like use the actual word for it.
spell slinger.
Nah, never mind.
Uh,
Voltron a little bit.
okay.
Yeah.
Webcam friendly. Okay.
Cool.
Save. How would you describe this deck?
Uh,
Any description that you'd like? It can be something funny if you'd like.
sure. Uh, hmm.
Spell slinger.
Ivy wants and gets anything she wants.
Perfect. All right. So Keith's gonna work his magic and get everything tagged and everything, and then we'll make it to where everybody can see the deck when they go on to Hexproof from Ward's Moxfield profile link. Um, so everybody's feeling good about the deck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
I like it.
going to be slinging spells, copying everybody's creatures, infecting them, trying to
Yeah.
take them out, and then
Yeah.
turning into a big kitty cat and smashing them to death.
I feel like it
Everyone
could
cool with
be
that?
pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Make
I,
everyone else envious.
yeah, so just you can there's a few it's pretty straight. I think the easiest way is just Voltroning Ivy, but then you have some sneaky ways to maybe win with the Infect or the Biovisionary alternate win con. You might even, if you have Sage of Hours out there, you can maybe go into some extra turns to help get it done. I think it could be decently effective.
Yeah, I think it's funny because we're envious of their cards, so we take their cards and copy them, and then they're envious that we copied their cards and it's their cards, and it's just like a full-on cycle of envy. So next week we have gluttony. So if anybody has any ideas for gluttony, please let us know. Leave a comment on YouTube, reach out to us on Blue Sky, Instagram, leave a comment on Spotify, like Culver did a couple weeks ago that we didn't realize you could do. Um, yeah, just let us know what you think. We're a glutton for punishment. Give us your ideas. And with that, does this episode resolve?
Yep, I think it
I
resolves.
think so.
All right, perfect. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bye.
Dun-dun.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Hexproof from Ward. If you like what you heard, you can continue to listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube. You can also give us a follow on Instagram and Blue Sky. We'll see you next week.